welcome back. Today we will learn about what does the word compiler means. In the previous video, I was talking a lot about the word compiler, but I didn't give you any idea about what is it. So it's very simple to understand is that, for example, if let's say you are having a class and in your class you are giving a test. Now let's say your test has 10 marks in total. Out of that you're scoring around 7. What happened to the rest 3? It was a mistake, or maybe you was not able to write the answer. Consider them as mistake. Biggest question is, who will find these mistakes? Well, it will be found by your teacher. So basically, teacher's job is to find mistakes in the student's answer sheet. Similarly, compiler works in such a way that its job is to find errors or mistakes in a program. So compiler, what it do is, it will compile your code. That means it will check for errors, bugs, or anything like that. And it will show you the errors or any warnings. For example, if I didn't give this header file, then what will happen is if I run the F5 button over here, you can see at the bottom that I am getting certain errors and warnings. Like as you can see, the cout undeclared. That means it now doesn't know what cout means because I have not given the iostream.h. Don't get confused that it is still there, but why it is not working? Because we have given comment over here. Comment thing we will learn in detail in the coming classes. For now, you just understand that that thing is not there right now. And you can see that we are getting certain errors and warnings. The main issue which we are seeing is that cout undeclared. That means it is showing the error on line number 7, and which is true because cout won't work if you don't give the header file for cout. If I give it back and then run it again, you will see that it will work perfectly fine. As you can see, I have printed welcome back. So compiler's job, what it do is it simply compiles the whole program and then it will tell you whether it has error or not. If the compiler doesn't find any error or any warning, then it will simply gives like this, that as you can see here, 0 errors and 0 warnings. That means you're good to go. You can run your code and it will work perfectly fine. Now there are other things also like different programming languages use. Like if I talk about, let's say Python. If you don't know Python, that is completely fine. But Python, what it does is don't use compilers. They have something else, which is called as an interpreter. But when it comes to C++, how a compiler works is it will read the whole piece of code at once and it will check for errors. Whereas in Python, what it will do is it goes line by line. That means it will read the first line to see if there's any error. If by chance Python program, there is an error on this particular point, let's say. So it will stop over here and it will not read the rest piece of code. So that is the basic difference between a compiler and an interpreter. When I will teach you Python, then I will talk about interpreter in much more detail. Right now you can understand compiler is that it is simply checks for any error or warning. If you want to learn compiler in a bit more advanced way, better way to understand compiler is that it also does is it simply translates your program from the human readable source to the machine language. For example, this thing which I have written over here is the way how we write or how we understand. But machine will not understand this piece of code. They have their own language. So for this, what we do is the compiler's job also is to translate this particular thing to the machine language so that the machine also understands, and then it will be easy for it to find errors or warnings. So I hope you have understood what a compiler means. If you have any doubt regarding a compiler, you can put down in the comment section and I will give you the answer for it. In the next class, we'll learn about variables and comments. So until then, take care. Bye-bye.